This is how to play in the chips. When you arrive in class, there will be a pile of yellow buyer cards face down and a pile of orange seller cards face down. You'll each take a score sheet and you'll circle whether you are a buyer or a seller. Depending on who you are, you will pick a buyer chip or a seller chip. You keep that price on that chip a secret. The dollar value on the chip lasts for only one transaction. As soon as you agree on a sale with a buyer or seller, whoever's the opposite of you, you each turn in your card for that sale, the chip that you just had, and you take a new one and you go make another transaction. If you're fast, you might make many transactions in a round, and if you're slower, maybe you'll only make one. If you're a buyer, this is what a card might look like. Although it will have a different price on each one, this buyer card says that you have up to $4 in your pocket to spend on a box of computer chips. If you were to exceed that price in a sale, that means you would have to have borrowed money from somebody and you will record a loss. It's possible, but you don't want to make a practice of it. If you were to make a transaction and buy a box of computer chips for $3.50, you would record a profit of 50 cents, which you'll put on your student score sheet, and I'll show you that in a second. Sellers are going to come in and you're going to take a card, when I tell you, from the orange pile of cards. It's going to tell you how much it cost you to make a box of computer chips. Cost includes everything from the materials that you had to buy, to the labor you had to pay, to your own salary. So if you succeed in selling a box of chips for exactly the price on this card, you've paid your own salary, but you haven't made any extra. So now this is how you fill out a student score sheet and keep a record of the transactions you make during the first round, and the second round, and the third round. Buyers circle buyer at the top of your sheet. Sellers are going to circle seller at the top of their sheet. Put your name at the top of the sheet. This is a sample of how you'd fill out a buyer score sheet. So in this sample, the first card you happen to pick said that you had $4 in your pocket. You go out and you make a transaction. For a buyer, the transaction price represents what you paid actually for one box of computer chips. Now this buyer, in this example, was very shrewd and managed to buy a box of computer chips for $3.50. Because they had $4, that reflects a gain of 50 cents, which they're going to put in the gain column when they're done with their transaction, and then they bring me back the price card and they pick a new price card. The second price card this buyer picked up was for $4.50. They go right out and they make a transaction. They buy a box of chips, of computer chips, and they only pay $3.50 for it. Well, they gained $1 on that transaction, and after they finish their transaction, they record that and they come and bring me back the price card, and they pick a new price card. Now you see the third and fourth transactions. That third price card the buyer picked up was for $3. Well, he didn't have much money to spend, and it ends up that he had to spend $4.50 to get a box of computer chips. That meant that he took a loss of $1.50. You don't want to do that too often, do you? He turns in the chip, his price card that he had, and he picks up price card number 4, and he gets $4 on that. He goes out and makes a transaction with another seller, and he manages to buy a box of computer chips for $3 in round 4, and that means that he ends up making a gain of $1. The end of round 4, the end of round 1, the bell sounds, and you're going to tally up your gains, which are $2.50 in the gain column, and you tally up your losses, which is $1.50 in the loss column, and you subtract the loss from the gain, and this buyer in round 1 made a net profit of $1. The end for now. Okay, now we go to the seller side. Sellers pick a card. Your card says it's $3.50 for you to make this box of chips. You go out and you find a buyer and you manage to sell it for $5. You made $1.50 on this transaction. You record your gain there. You don't have to tell anybody else about it, but you do have to come to me and you have to tell me what your transaction price was. That's all. I just recorded. You take a new card, you turn in your old card for $3.50, you pick a new card, and you end up going and make another transaction. This time, your price card was $4.50. That's how much it cost you to make this box of chips. And for some reason, you can only manage to sell it for $2. You took a loss of $2.50 on that transaction. You record it on your sheet, you turn in your price card, and you tell me the cost of your transaction, and you pick a new card. In this third transaction, the price on your card was $3. You managed to sell your box of computer chips for $6. You made a $3 gain. You record it. You come back and turn in your card, and you tell me your transaction price. With this one, you got a price card for $4.50 and you managed to sell for $4.50. You posted neither a gain nor a loss. This is how you record it. Buyers, you would do the same thing. If you didn't make a profit or a loss, you just put a little line in each of the gain and loss columns. This seller is a pretty quick seller. So he manages to turn in his fourth transaction card, pick a fifth one, he gets it for $3. Now he goes out and makes a sale and he sells for $6.50. He makes a gain of $3.50 and now he's ready to tally up his loss because the bell rings for round one. So the bell rings for round one. This seller totals up his gains, that's $8. He totals up his losses, it's $2.50. His net profit is $5.50, and the round is over. Notice that the buyer had only made 4 transactions. This seller happens to have made 5 transactions. You don't have to make all of the transactions in the round. It is a completely individual thing, how fast it works for you.